ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge in Allah from shaitan, the rejected one. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. I greet you with a universal greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are continuing with the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. In the last segment, we stopped where we see that Yusuf alayhi salam interpreted the dream of the king. So now, when the wine bearer went back to went back to the king, we see that the king called for Yusuf alayhi salam. We read in verse 50. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So the king said, "Bring you him unto me." But when the messenger came to him, Yusuf alayhi salam said, "Go thou back to thy lord and ask him, what is the state of mind of the ladies who cut their hands? For me, my lord is certainly well aware of their snare." So we see here in verse 50 that Yusuf alayhi salam was not in a hurry just to run out of the prison. What was more important is that he had to clear his name from what the woman was saying about him. So he cleared his name first. We see that he said, "What is the state of the mind of the ladies who cut their hands? For my lord is certainly well aware of their snare." So he wanted to find out about the position of the ladies. The king said to the ladies, so the king had a meeting with the ladies or inquired from them somehow, "What was your affair when you did seek to seduce Yusuf from his true self?" The ladies said, "Allah preserve us, no evil, no we against him." Said the Aziz's wife, "Now is the truth manifest to all. It was I who sought to seduce him from his true self. He is in need of those who are ever true and vainglorious." So we see that Yusuf alayhi salam asked about the state of the ladies, and we see here that the ladies said that they were the guilty party, and the wife of the Aziz, who was the leader in this whole affair, cleared his name outright and said that I was the one who sought to seduce him. So she clarified the matter that she was the guilty party. Then Yusuf alayhi salam said, Thus say I, in order that he may know that I have never been false to him in his absence, and that Allah will never guide the snare of the false ones. So we see that Yusuf alayhi salam clarified his name, and that the Aziz may know that he wasn't guilty to the least degree. He was not guilty at all in running after the wife of the Aziz. So Yusuf alayhi salam was not guilty in the least. That is made clear at the end of the section. Then we read further in verse 53, "Nor do I absolve myself of blame, وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي." So Yusuf alayhi salam is continue speaking here, and he says, "Nor do I absolve my own human self of blame. The human soul is certainly prone to evil, unless my Lord do bestow his mercy. But surely my Lord is oft forgiving, most merciful." So Yusuf alayhi salam in his humility says that a human being will be tempted to do wrong things, but unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects him. And here we see that he says, "Illa ma rahima rabbi." And we see that Yusuf alayhi salam was protected. We see that Yusuf alayhi salam was protected from the snare of the woman and protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from doing wrong. And then if we read further, after his name was cleared, now he was free to come out. He was satisfied that his name was cleared. So that's an important lesson that we can learn, that we must clear our name when people falsely accuse you of something. So when the king said, "Bring him unto me, I will take him specially to serve about my own person." Therefore, when he had spoken to him, he said, "Be assured this day thou art before our own presence with rank firmly established and fidelity fully proved." So we see that Yusuf alayhi salam was put into the parliament of the king, and his name was cleared completely from any wrongdoing. Yusuf said, "Set me over the storehouses of the land. I will indeed guard them, as one that knows the importance. So generally, when we get positions of power, we hanker after positions of power so that we can get more money, so that we can get more authority, that we can get more power, and maybe greater status in society. So our reasons for running after power is usually wrong. But if you look at Yusuf alayhi salam, he asked for power because he was the most suitable person to fulfill the well-being of the community that he lived in and the surrounding areas. So because he knew that he would be able to manage the wealth properly, the grain properly, so that they can live in this difficult time, he volunteered to be put in charge of the storehouses because he would be most responsible in looking after it properly. So that's a lesson that we can learn from this, that we should, if we want to be put in positions of power, it should be so that we can be of service to others. And if we feel that we have the most capable, then we should take on the job to do well, to be of service to those around us. That's very important. Then verse 56 and 57, thus did we give established power to Yusuf in the land, to take possession therein, as when or where he pleased. We bestowed of our mercy on whom we please, and we suffer not to be lost the reward of those who do good. So as a result of Yusuf alayhi salam being put in the position of power, like the Minister of Finance, he also had power to do as he wants in the society, because the king knew that he will do things to do what is best for the whole of humanity around him. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put him in charge of everything. وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him authority and power in the land in this way. But verily the reward of the year after is best for those who believe and are constant in righteousness. So, constant in righteousness. So we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, although you can have power in the land, but the best home you can get and the best reward you can get instead of power in this world is the reward of the year after. So this is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ends section 7 of Surah 12. Now we look at section 8. Verse 58, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Then came Yusuf's brethren. They entered his presence, and he knew them, but they knew him not. So in the time of difficulty, after Yusuf alayhi salam was put in charge of the storehouses of the land, the people from neighboring countries also came for assistance. And the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam came and they asked for assistance, but they came to buy some wheat in this case. Right, so some say they were in Canaan. So they came for wheat, and they came to buy wheat. So when they came unto him, he knew them, but they did not know who he was. And when he had furnished them forth with provisions suitable for them, he said, Bring unto me a brother you have of your father as yourselves, but a different mother. See you not that I pay you full measure, and that I do provide the best hospitality. So he told them, maybe while he was discussing and when he was talking to them, he found out about his brother and where they are from and who is their father, etc. And then he said, okay, the next time you come, you have to bring this brother to Egypt. And then he further went on to say, Now if you bring him not to me, you shall have no measure of corn from me, nor shall you even come near me. They said, We shall certainly seek to get our wish from him, wish about him from his father. Indeed, we shall do it. So they said, No, we will ask our father, we'll do our best to bring him with. So he made it clear that if you don't bring your brother, you will get no wheat. Now, to further strengthen his plan, what he did is he put their money back into their saddlebags. And Yusuf told his servants to put their stock in trade with which they had bartered into their saddlebags, so that they should know it only when they return to their people, in order that they may come back. So they didn't know that money was put back into their saddlebags. Now when they returned to their father, they said, "O our father, no more measure of grain shall we get unless we take our brother. So send our brother with us, that we may get our measure, and we will indeed take every care of him. So now imagine you are Yaqub alayhi salam. Now your brothers, you know what they did to Yusuf in the past. Now they come to you and they say, you must send with us your brother, the younger brother, Benjamin, as he is known from history. So imagine what you'll say, if you were Yaqub alayhi salam. So let's see what Yaqub alayhi salam did. He said, shall I trust you with him with any result other than when I trusted you with his brother aforetime? I know what happened with Yusuf alayhi salam. Now must I send this brother with you? You guys are up to some mischief. But Allah is the best to take care of him, and He is the most merciful of those who show mercy. So he said, فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَاكِمًا حَافِظًا. فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَافِظًا. Allah is the best to protect him. وَهُوَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. And He is the most merciful of those who show mercy. So he realized he will have to send his son with, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect him. But he took some precaution beforehand. When they opened their bags, they found the stock in trade had been returned to them. So further than that, when they opened their bags, they found that their money was put back. They said, "Oh, our father, what more can we desire? This our stock in trade has been returned to us, so we shall get more food for our family. We shall take care of our brother and add at the same time a full camel's load of grain to our provision. This is but a small quantity." So they went to Yaqub alayhi salam and said, "Here we've got our money back, and plus we will take, if we take Benjamin with us, we will have another bag full of food to bring back. So what more can we ask for?" But as I said, Yaqub alayhi salam had to take a precaution. This is what he did. Yaqub alayhi salam said, "Never will I send him with you until you swear a solemn oath to me in Allah's name that you will be sure to bring him back to me unless you are yourself hemmed in and made powerless." And when they had sworn their solemn oath, he said, "Over all that we say, may Allah be Allah the witness and guardian." قَالَ اللَّهُ عَلَى مَا نَقُولُ وَكِيلٌ. So he said, Allah is a witness over what you said. You've made an oath, and I'll trust in Allah now with the outcome. Furthermore, he even gave his sons advice, and he said, "O my sons, enter not all by one gate, enter you by different gates. Not that I can profit you aught against Allah with my advice. None can command except Allah. On Him do I put my trust, and let all that trust put their trust in Him." So he gave his children further advice. He said, when you enter Egypt, don't enter together. You will bring attention to yourselves. Enter by different gates. But you must trust in Allah and take your precaution. And he says, وَعَلَيْهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُتَوَكِّلُونَ. So he says that you should take tawakkul on Allah. You should trust in Allah, but you should take your precautions. And when they entered in a manner their father had entered, it did not profit them in the least against the plan of Allah. But when they went according to what the manner that their father said, it did not profit them. But that is not the important point. The important point is that you should try your best to take your precautions and then trust in Allah after that. It did not profit them in the least against the plan of Allah. It was but a necessity of Yaqub's soul, which he discharged, for he was by our instruction full of knowledge and experience, but most men know not. So we see here that he took his precautions and then he trusted in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with that, we will stop today's segment on Surah Yusuf alayhi salam. Today we did section 7 and 8. In section 7, we see that Yusuf alayhi salam was called by the king, but before he came out from prison, he cleared his name from any type of wrongdoing on his part. The woman admitted their fault, and they said that they were the guilty party. Thereafter, we see that he was raised to close nearest to the person of the king. He was put in charge. He asked to be put in charge of the storehouses because he was most qualified to look after them the way they should be looked after them. They should be looked after in this trial period that they were going to experience by the drought that was about to come. Then we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a result, gave him power in the land to take possession as and where he wills. Thereafter, in times of difficulty, his brothers came to Egypt to ask for food, but they did not recognize him, but he recognized them. In the course of the discussion, he told them that he found out that they got a brother, or it became clear that he has another brother, and he told his brothers that he told his brothers that they should bring the other brother the next trip that they make, otherwise they will get no grain. When they went back to their father and told him this, he said, "How can I trust you after what happened to Yusuf alayhi salam?" But they said, "Now look, our money is back. Our stock in trade has been returned to us. So we will have we'll have money, plus we'll have another horse to carry more food back home to Canaan after we've gone back to Egypt." So then he didn't just send them, he made them take an oath that they will look after the brother, they will protect their brother. They take an oath by Allah that they will do their best to bring their brother back unless they are made rendered powerless. And then he told them to enter by different gates, not to say that it would protect them against any plans of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but this was a duty that he had to render out to his children, to protect them from any difficulty that may arise. And the lesson that we learned there is that you should take your precautions in any matter, and thereafter trust Allah whatever the outcome may be. With that, we will conclude today's section. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر